Hey guys, Monochrome here. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. Genuinely good to have you. Today we're taking a look at an old timer when it comes to multi-tool designs. This is the Schrade Tough Tool multi-tool. Quick little history lesson before we get into the tool. Back in the day when Tim Leatherman created the very first pliers-based multi-tool, it was a wild success. Now we're talking right around 3 decades ago. Well, Mr. Leatherman was very intelligent. He got his multi-tool and its features patented. Now that doesn't mean that other companies didn't try to scramble and create their own multi-tools by coming up with different ideas to bypass those patents. I remember back in the day, Buck had a rather intriguing design, and this is the one that Schrade came up with to work around Mr. Leatherman's patents. Now, to be clear, this is a modern-day made Schrade Tough Tool. This is not an original from way back in the day, but there are certain tools, certain knives that have remained, basically unchanged for decades upon decades upon decades. The Buck Model 110, yes, the belt pouch is different, but it's still the same Buck Model 110 when it was first created decades upon decades ago. Same thing here. This is a modern day made Schrade Tough Tool based on that original design going back right around 3 decades. So let's take a look at how Schrade decided to work around Tim Leatherman's patents. Yep. Outside exposed features. None of these are one-handed, but yes, Schrade was technically the very first company to come up with outside accessible features on their multi-tool. Opens up just like any other multi-tool, not spring-loaded, and a little bit loose, but some people do prefer that. You get wire cutters, grippers, and mostly somewhat needle nose pliers that do come together, although a bit blunted. Yeah, this is a bit of a hybrid between needle nose pliers and blunt pliers. And here are all the other features. Just a quick thing. Here's the front of the blister pack. Here's the back. On the back, it tells you what features come with the tool. And that's where we run into the very first issue, because the back lies. One of the tools you'll see listed here is scissors. And you see scissors pictured here. Yeah, there are no scissors. There weren't scissors on the original Tough Tool. There aren't scissors on this one. So why the blatant false advertising? And yes, that's what it is. You promise someone scissors, and for some of us, that's going to be a deal breaker. But yeah, so why the false advertising? Well, it's simple. There is another Schrade Tough Tool, one in black that has a neon green lettering instead of black. And that one, which is black coated, is a later model that does have scissors. And it's also called the Tough Tool. Literally, the only difference is that that one is black coated. This one, based on the original, is not. So you have to be careful when ordering online. If you really want this multi-tool or the other one, which is black and does have scissors, I would suggest call the online shop and make sure they're mailing out the right one to you. Yeah, so I guess Schrade decided, screw it, we'll use the same blister pack for both models. And I guess they didn't care that the one for the original, non-black coated one doesn't have scissors. They probably figure no one's going to sue them over it, considering this is a budget multi-tool. And so far, Schrade has been correct. But yeah, watch out for that. Get that out of the way. So over here, it's closed. Over here, completely open. And as you can see, this is just bent sheet metal. This is absolutely a budget multi-tool bent sheet metal. And because of the way the tools are stacked, these handle scales are rather thick, and that's as far as they close. But yeah, rather thick. So there are certain tools that do lock into place. For example, the knife blade and the Phillips screwdriver. The problem is there is absolutely zero information on the blister pack how to unlock those certain tools that lock open. And yeah, here's the problem. Let's say you need the knife blade. You open it up. Does it lock into place? Yes. Here's the lock mechanism on top. Over here, yes. It does lock into place. Now, try unlocking it. There is zero information on the blister pack. There is zero information on the other items you get with this multi-tool, which would be a surprisingly good nylon belt pouch and this little warning sheet, which is basically lawyerese warnings about sharp knives, this and that. But yeah, this has zero information on how the lock works. So that's the second issue. Because you're going to have individuals who will lock open the blade feature and then they're like, oh crap, I can't close it. Now, this is one of those multi-tools where a locking feature, the only way to unlock it is to raise up another feature right up against the lock mechanism, and then you can fold both the knife blade and the feature that you raised up in order to access and unlock the knife or any other tool. This doesn't work that way. No. This almost works that way. For example, you have to know in advance that if you lock the blade open, you absolutely have to raise up one of the other locking tools. Keep in mind, not all of them lock. You have to raise up that locking tool up against the lock mechanism, and then you can lower both the knife blade, for example, and the other locking feature. Yeah, there's a problem with that. And I'm going to demonstrate it using my pry bar tool. Hold on, guys. Yep. Here's the knife feature. And yes, it is locked open. Tiny bit of up and down play, no side to side play. It is locked open. So how do you unlock it? Well, maybe you open up one of the features on the very end, so it'll be easier. No, here's what you have to do. You have to specifically use the Phillips driver and raise it up right next to the freaking knife blade. Be careful not to slice your freaking fingers open. Yeah, what a great design. Be careful not to slice your fingers open. So obviously you're going to use your EDC pry bar that all of us carry, right? In order to avoid slicing your fingers open on the knife blade, just like that. And now that both of these are up against the lock mechanism, now you should be able to close both of them. And yeah, we've got a malfunction. It's not working. That's brilliant. So now this thing is stuck. Okay, it was working. Now it's not. So let me try to see if perhaps opening another tool. This is the scribe feature, by the way. Something I've never seen on any other multi-tool. Is it useful? Not really, but I did use it when a fellow employee buried an envelope inside a binder and I had to retrieve it. So I did use the scribe feature for something it wasn't meant for. But okay, so let's see if opening this, again, dangerously close to the knife blade, will perhaps cause the lock to loosen up. And okay, yeah, no. All right, we've got a malfunction. So let me show you the other tools. This is, yeah. So you've seen the partially serrated clip point knife. You've seen the scribe feature, which you won't see on pretty much any other multi-tool outside of Schrade. And I used it as a tool for dragging an envelope from inside a binder that had folder pockets. And you've seen the, well, partially three-dimensional Phillips driver. Over here, we got a combination bottle can opener feature. And over here, on this end, we have a file feature. This side, functional. This rougher side, well, no. This is the rough side, very functional crisscross file. This one, I guess that's just for your fingernails, because that's not very rough at all. So yeah, that's that handle scale. And on this handle scale, we have a small slotted driver. Yes, I did hit the camera. Oh well, moving on. We have a larger slotted driver and a wire stripper feature. I'm going to try not to lock any of these open. Now, this is a blunted knife feature or a chisel feature that's sharpened on one side. No clue why that's there. That makes about as much sense as the scribe feature. Saw, and then right up against that over here, and yes, it is ridiculous that I have to use my pocket titanium pry bar. But it works great. Sorry. This is currently no longer made. Otherwise, I would give you a link to this excellent little titanium pocket pry bar. I guess not so little. But yeah, here you have a ruler feature that, not exactly the best. And on this side, nothing. So you get a partial ruler feature that's not very well made. Okay, I'm going to fold these down without locking any of the tools. I think there's 2 locking tools on this handle scale as well. But over here, yeah, I got the 2 locking features, the blade and the Phillips screwdriver, which is supposed... I mean, if you have one of these locked open, opening up the other one should cause both to unlock. As you can see, we're experiencing some technical difficulties. Look, guys, here's the thing, and this is weird. Like, if you open up, seriously, if you open up either the knife or the Phillips driver into the fully open and locked position, they should both be able to fold back down. That's how this lock mechanism works. Well, as you can see, it doesn't work very well. And here I am on video, and now it refuses to work at all. Isn't that lovely? Maybe if I do this. Nope. It's stuck. That's great. Guys, honestly, is it comfortable in the hand when you're squeezing the handles to use the pliers? Surprisingly, it is slightly comfortable. It's not uncomfortable, but it's not the best. And as you can see, this is very cheaply made. Honestly, if you can pick this thing up for around $10 on sale, go for it. Although, actually, no. Now that the freaking lock mechanism has malfunctioned on me on camera, no, don't go for it. Guys, I can't comment on how well this multi-tool was made back about 30 years ago or so. Maybe it was made better. Heck, it seems everything made 30 years ago was better than today. Cars, watches, with the exception of flashlights, everything seems to be made better 30 years ago than today. Here's the thing. I was going to say if you can find this for $10 on sale, pick it up. Honestly, not anymore. Freaking hell. Absolute lock failure where I can't unlock these 2 locking features. You're supposed to push them up against each other, careful not to slice your fingers open, and doing so should unlock both. No, it's stuck. I have no clue how I'm going to fix it. Yeah. Once again, if you see it on sale for $10, no, I'm not going to give it a conditional recommendation. You just saw a catastrophic failure on camera, one take. There it is. Honestly, guys, avoid this thing. Avoid it. If you have this multi-tool from way back in the day, right around 30 years ago, and it works great and you're happy with it, wonderful. Do not try to upgrade it to a modern version made 30 years later. This is terrible. I mean, blatant, flagrant failure right there. I cannot unlock the knife blade. I cannot unlock the Phillips. This is just unacceptable. Absolutely unacceptable. Don't buy this at all. If you need a budget multi-tool, but you don't want some useless, worthless piece of crap, honestly, buy a Gerber suspension. Buy a Gerber NXT. Do not buy this. Do not buy this at all. Seriously. No. You need a budget multi-tool. Look at Gerber's offerings. Don't buy this at all. On camera, absolute failure lock mechanism. One take video. Guys, yeah. I've shown you all the features. This thing is not worth buying. Yes, there will be specs in the description box below, but seriously, do not waste your money on this. Absolutely do not waste your money on it. Yeah. Guys, stay safe out there. It's still dangerous. I'll see you guys soon in the next video with another review and hopefully of a much better product. Although honestly, I don't think I can do worse. Guys, I'll see you later. Take care, stay safe.